And you might not want to hear this, but for me, I'm so grateful that I had IBS. Because without it, I wouldn't have been able to pull myself out. Without it, I would have kept pretending to be someone I'm not, and ultimately be less fulfilled within my life, and physically unhealthier. But it was a compass back to myself, and it's guiding you. It's trying to tell you that who you are right now isn't working. Hey everyone, Mark Christian here. Thanks for tuning in to Healing Yourself. Today I'm going to talk about a very personal issue, the elusive IBS. So I basically tried everything under the sun, physically speaking, diet changes. I had to make sure, right, it wasn't parasites. I did endoscopies, I did SIBO testing, I saw a naturopath, I saw chiropractors. Then I went to Western medicine naturally. And they gave me the diagnosis that they probably gave you if you've come to this video and have IBS, which is, here's the low FODMAP diet, try to reduce stress. I don't really know what to tell you. And it was like no one could give me an answer. And I found out I had to find the answer for myself. And so I did. So I went on this conquest to figuring it out. And I can proudly say I have figured it out. Now I'm still on a healing journey that goes deeper, but my stomach issues themselves have completely resolved. When I realized it wasn't physical, well, because I did all these physical interventions and it wasn't changing anything, I came to the conclusion, okay, it must be mental. And so then I doubled down on meditation and went to 10-day Vipassana Retreats and became like this avid chronic meditator. But there were glimpses in that process where I had full relief. In Vipassana, which involves body scanning, the first time I really learned the modality, I took my third eye and scanned and dropped it right to my stomach. And right when it hit my stomach, it's like the fist, the clenching, just released for a moment. And it was like the first time I'd ever seen my stomach, really actually ever felt it. It was like the organism itself that was separate from me, the organ felt seen and it released. Oh, and I could feel it in this whole tension pattern throughout my entire body opened up. And for a moment of reprieve, I just felt it and then the next day I woke up and all the symptoms were back. But they were maybe like 5% better. And I got a glimpse of what needs to be done, what needed to be done in order to heal. It was my body was conditioned in this level of trauma. And it was holding everything. It was clenching it. And when I started releasing this trauma, my physical symptoms started to go away. I would notice if I had a good cry, the next day I would have better bowel movements. And then, as stress started to build again, the foundation of the stomach would start to tighten again and my digestion wouldn't be able to flow and process and it would fall apart. So in terms of things you can do for yourself, tangible things you can use. One, maybe consider doing a 10-day Vipassana retreat. Now keep in mind, it's a paradox. If you go there to heal, you're not going to be looking at your body objectively, you're going to be looking for the problem. And I went down that rabbit hole, right? You're going to be fixated to an outcome. And the practice itself is looking at yourself objectively. And you are going in with an objective. So just keep that in mind, right? It's a big loophole you're going to have to fill yourself and wisdom you're going to have to gain where it's sort of like, there's nowhere to be, and once whatever. Joe Dispenza's work has been really helpful as well. His work is all about sort of you are the placebo. It's about visualizing. And so what happens is when you embody this healthy version of you, what you're doing is you're sending signals to your body that are essentially telling it it's okay. Because the reason it's not working is because subconsciously you're telling it it's not okay. And that's the trauma. That's the conditioning from the past. A couple other meditations you can do. Montauk Chia's Inner Smile meditation is a great meditation to bring you self-love and feed your organs. Literally, mentally feed different organ systems that are closed off by fear, and you just go in there and you just smile to them, and as you smile they start to open up and release. Like I said, Vipassana is a great one. The Sedonna Method is profound. I'm gonna link all this in the description below. Therapies I've tried: EDMR, extremely effective at releasing trauma. Cranial sacral therapy, somatic experiencing, somatic therapy. So I dedicated my life to this. I actually became a massage therapist originally, but now I've actually become a somatic imagery guide after receiving profound changes within myself from somatic imagery guided therapy. And I help people go through journeys within their subconscious in almost like a dreamlike state, similar to hypnotherapy, where we guide you into those physical sensations, and from there you can contend with your subconscious, meet it with your consciousness, and resolve issues yourself. Because ultimately you're going to have to resolve it yourself. There is no one out there that's going to give you the answer. You're going to have to find it. You're the one who left home. You're going to have to find out how to get back to home, period. The biggest piece of wisdom I think I've learned from this whole process is that your body isn't fighting you. It's actually defending itself from you. Your subconscious is constantly attacking it. And it's attacking it because somewhere along your past, you experienced trauma, and now it's programmed to replay that trauma over and over again, and your body is just responding to it. It's, maybe there was this kid when you were 5 who made fun of you in this really embarrassing way, and you haven't fully processed that experience. You haven't fully gone through it. And so what happens is it gets stored in the body. And now the body is just constantly reacting to it. Another thing I wish I knew was that pain and discomfort is just your compass, right? If you're having stomach issues, stomach cramping, explore it. And I know it's painful, right? It's you want to avoid it, right? But try to neutrally explore it if you can. Try to really investigate it, because it's in the investigation of that pain and discomfort that you will find the answers. And trust me, they're not the answers you want, but they're the answers you need to hear. And you might not want to hear this, but for me, I'm so grateful that I had IBS, because without it, I wouldn't have been able to pull myself out. Without it, I would have kept pretending to be someone I'm not, and ultimately be less fulfilled within my life, and physically unhealthier. But it was a compass back to myself, and it's guiding you. It's trying to tell you that who you are right now isn't working. Most likely what's happening is there's subtle rejection of yourself, and there's parts of you that you are completely, whether it's ashamed of or guilty of or disgusted by, whatever it is, it's where your shadow lives. And it just needs love. It needs your kindness. It just wants you to come back home. So in this process of changing the conversation you're having with your body, the dynamic, the relationship you have with your body, you'll be confronted with parts of yourself, usually smaller, scared parts. In giving those parts what you need, the relationship with your body will get better, and you'll heal at deeper, more profound levels than you even imagined. If this video was helpful to you, or you think it might be helpful to someone else, even just one person, make sure to hit the like button. Help share it around. And if you want to see more videos like this in the future, make sure to hit the subscribe button.